Welcome to your weekly UAS news update. We have 4 stories for you this week. The FAA publishes TFRs for the 2026 World Cup, and you should be paying attention. North Dakota cuts BVLOS waiver time down to just 23 days by having a whole bunch of stuff. That's pretty cool. Flock safety pushes the limits of police drone cameras. And then lastly, a Walmart drone delivery pad is sparking some local zoning fights in North Carolina. So let's get to it. And first up this week, the FAA has officially published the venue list, the dates, and the airspace dimensions for the FIFA World Cup. Those are the flight restrictions. If you are flying in any of these host cities, then you're going to want to be paying attention. Now, 11 stadiums are getting 3-nautical-mile radius restrictions up to 3,000 feet above the ground on pretty much every match day. Now, you might be wondering why 3,000 feet? It's actually because it also applies to manned aircraft. Now, the real kicker here is that there are also fan event sites that are covered. 12 fan festivals are also getting a tighter, just a 1-mile ring and up to 1,000 feet. And several of these are actually staying active continuously for several weeks. For example, sites in Philadelphia and Houston are showing a near continuous coverage from June 11th all the way to July 19th. Now, in addition, there's also hotel and practice sites that are getting a 1-nautical-mile TFR, even in cities that are actually not hosting any of the games. Now, this is a reminder that LANC authorizations here is actually going to buy you absolutely no exception inside of these active TFRs. So this is for both Part 107 operators and recreational pilots. So remember, even though it says that you might be able to get LANC authorization, those TFRs are still in effect and you cannot bypass them with LANC. Now, the FAA is also enforcing their deter program. We talked about this before. That's the fast track enforcement. They said they have fines reaching up to $75,000 and criminal fines that are going to be topping $100,000. So more than ever, don't be that guy. Now, next up, North Dakota has managed to cut BVLOS, Beyond Visual Line of Sight waiver, time to get the approval from months down to only 23 days. Now, this is happening through what they call the Ventus network, which covers more than 5,000 square miles of managed airspace in that state. They recently activated the FAA Federal Radar Enclave, which feeds all of the network the exact same real-time data that federal air traffic controllers are using. Now, because the network handles the detect and avoid safety cases, then operators have the ability to get all of that data and all of that work instead of basically starting from scratch on their waiver. Frontier Precision just joined as an operator, and their waiver is covering any NDAA compliant platforms that are under 55 pounds that are flying within the Ventus service volumes. This is a platform agnostic approval, so they can swap basically any drone model without having to refile the paperwork, providing that it's an NDAA compliant aircraft. Now, this is a good proof of concept. Obviously, it doesn't affect all operators out there, most operators in the United States, but again, a good proof of concept. Our third story this week, Flock Safety is pushing the camera specs on its American-made Alpha drone as the drone as first responder market is heating up quite a bit. Flock claims that the Alpha's gimbal camera can read a vehicle license plate from up to 2,000 feet away, which is quite a distance. The payload combines a multi-sensor optic, high-definition thermal imaging, low-light sensors, and then also a laser rangefinder. Now, if you're not familiar, the Alpha tops at 60 miles per hour, and they claim to have flight time of up to 45 minutes. It also features a dual battery swapping dock with climate control that gets the drone airborne in less than 90 seconds because they're able to actually swap the batteries. In addition, the drone is designed and assembled in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's also fully NDAA compliant. Last story, a Walmart drone delivery pad has turned into a major zoning fight in Lincoln County, that's in North Carolina. Walmart wants to build a small drone launch area in the parking lot of its Denver, North Carolina, not the other one. And they want to expand the wing-operated delivery service. But 200 neighbors have signed a petition to stop it, citing concerns over privacy, noise, and also wildlife. The drones that Wing uses are hybrid aircraft that take off vertically and then fly using the fixed wing horizontally after that. They weigh about 11 pounds and they carry 2.5 pounds of payload. Although the newer models can carry up to 5 pounds, they cruise at 60 miles an hour at about 150 feet above the ground, and they go within a 6-mile radius. When they arrive, they don't land, but actually they just hover at about 23 feet and then they lower the package using a tether. The FAA already governs the airspace, we know that, and they've cleared the kind of delivery, but local county commissioners still control the land use, especially the zoning for the launch pad itself. This is the exact fight that we're going to see, I think, play out in different town halls across the country as drone deliveries are potentially scaling up. Still yet to see that. It shows that having the best technology and the federal approval here is really not enough. Companies also have to win over the local community before they can get anything implemented as far as drone delivery. All right, and that's it for this week. See you next week for Post-Flight, where we're going to be talking about all of these stories uncensored.
Offer free drone deliveries for a year to the neighborhood. That's what I would do.
Yeah, to create more noise, more wildlife harassment. And,
I, as the consumer, would actually want to utilize it. I think it'd be fun.
They will not be alive on Monday, but we will be back next Friday for another news update. See you then.